Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is knowledge management. This is a very vast topic, I must say, because it usually comes under the competitive exams like UGC NET and other MBA examinations. So let's just discuss about this topic because this topic, that is knowledge management, is not discussed much, and it is. I think that it is the most important topic, and we should learn it. So let's start. Now, this slide says, what is knowledge management? Now, this slide is asking you a question like how you are going to manage a knowledge. That is knowledge management. Knowledge management is the process of organizing, creating, using, and sharing collective knowledge within an organization. Successful knowledge management includes maintaining information in a place where it is easy to access. You know that when I talk about knowledge management, I'm relating it to organization because an organization, knowledge management plays a crucial role in any department. So KM, that is the knowledge management, has the prioritized role already in the organization. So what is knowledge management? It is the process of organization. Basically, first you should know that this is a process. Okay, this is the process of what? The organizing, creating, using, and sharing collective knowledge within an organization. So I must say that you should first organize the knowledge you acquire. Like you can acquire knowledge from anybody. It could be your friends, it could be your colleagues, it could be your boss, or it could be social media, broadcasting media, anything. Okay, so you acquire knowledge also from book. Okay, so it is the organization of what? Organization of knowledge. Creating creating what? Now you have acquired knowledge. So you have different pieces of knowledge. Okay, and now you are going to create a new knowledge from those pieces of knowledge. Okay, that's how a knowledge can create. Now the knowledge has been created. What I mean, a new knowledge has been created because you have organized what? You have organized a new pieces of information. Now the information is transformed into a new knowledge. So it is called creating. Now you have new knowledge from the different pieces of information. Now you are going to use those knowledge. Okay, what knowledge you have acquired from organization, now you are going to use that knowledge. Okay, so and what you are going to do with that? Now you are going to share that knowledge, and sharing it means that this is a collective knowledge you have shared to many people. Okay, so it is called collective knowledge. So it is a process. Okay, within an organization, a successful knowledge management includes maintaining information in a place where it is easy to access. Now you have acquired knowledge, now you have shared that knowledge, that knowledge is collective in nature, and how you are going to store that knowledge. It's very important, it's very crucial, because if you are not going to store that knowledge, the data will get lost. Okay, and you are not going to lose that information. So you need to store that information, that pieces of information, the piece of information called that knowledge, and which is very crucial to any organization. Now you are going to uh, store that knowledge, that information, where it is easily accessible to all people in the organization. So it is called knowledge management. Okay, and it's a very crucial process of any organization. This is a repeated statement, guys, please ignore this. Now, knowledge management efforts typically focus on organizational objectives such as improved performance, competitive advantage, innovation, the sharing of lessons learned, integration, and continuous improvement of the organization. It means that Suppose you are working in an organization, a well-reputed organization, and your performance is continuously declining. Okay, it is declining continuously, and you don't know the reason. And now, what you are going to do? You are obviously you will focus on your performance. You will try to improve your performance, but how you are going to improve your performance? What are the strategies? What are the plans you needed? All these information lies on management. Okay, that knowledge management, because all the information you will get, that how to improve your performance, how you are going to achieve your goals, that is all mentioned in the knowledge management process. Because what is knowledge? Knowledge is basically information. You need information, you need something, you need some data to how you are going to improve your performance. If you know that strategy, if you know that thing, that now you are going to improve your performance, how? Because you have you know the information. Okay, you know how to improve your performance. How you are going to improve your performance? By knowing the proper knowledge management uh, process. You know the information, you know how to improve, now you know. Okay, so another thing is, knowledge management efforts typically focus on competitive advantage also. Because you know that you have uh, competitions outside your organization. Okay, you have so many competitors. Okay, so how you are going to make your strategy, which is completely different from your competitors? How you are going to show yourself that you are different from your competitors? That is also a part of knowledge management. Because if you have that knowledge, if you have that information, that your your strategy is much more better than your competitors, then you are going to apply that strategy. It means you are competitive. You are competitive. Okay, you are highly competitive in with your competitors. So this is also called the knowledge management efforts. So the next thing is innovation. Knowledge management efforts also focuses on innovation. By innovation, I mean to say that suppose your organization is going to launch a new product, okay, and it should be different from your competitors. So what you are going to do? You should develop a new idea. Obviously, you should develop a new idea to make a new innovative product that is completely different from your competitors. So you will need what? A method or idea. Okay, and idea generation is very important. And what is idea generation? It is basically an information, a knowledge. So innovation, knowledge is very important. Knowledge plays a very utmost important role. So you are going to introduce a something new, you are going to introduce something new product. Okay, so you will apply that knowledge which you have already acquired, which is already stored in in the place where it is easy to access. Okay, so you are going to apply that knowledge to innovate your product, to innovate your services. The ultimate goal of any organization is what? It is innovation. So by innovation, it means that you should need knowledge management. You must need knowledge. You should use knowledge which is stored in your organization. Now, knowledge management also focuses on the sharing of lesson learned. I must tell you that this lesson learning, that is lesson learned, is the main part of any knowledge management process. Okay, where you can say that a new knowledge or new learnings or new informations are identified through any activity you perform or any review process. Okay, and this is incorporated, what that new knowledge and the new learnings are incorporated into your future work practices. It is a very simple concept. Okay, so it is very important that the lesson learned should be the part of knowledge management. So it is a very crucial part of any knowledge management process in the organization. By integration and continuous improvement, we mean that any organization, obviously, it goes through changes. It get change, okay? So it is not like that it will be stable, it will be like same forever. No, any organization, it changes with the external environment. It adapted the external environment. So in order to uh, have continuous improvement in the organization, knowledge management process typically put efforts to the performance of the organization. That is, it leads to continuous improvement. Then how an organization is going to improve? Now this is the question, because knowledge is very much crucial for any change. So the knowledge is captured, okay? First you need to capture the knowledge, and the knowledge should be new. So now you have captured the new knowledge. Now you are going to implement that knowledge. Now you are going to apply that knowledge in an appropriate ways, okay? So it is like that transferring of the knowledge, like your organization is changing. How? Because you have acquired new knowledge. Now you are applying that new knowledge for the continuous improvement of the organization. Okay. Now this is the crucial part of any organization, that is knowledge management. Okay. So, and also, if you want to maintain quality, you need to have accurate and precise information, accurate and precise pieces of information, and that collective information will lead to your creation of new knowledge. Okay. Now we come to the next slide. Here we are going to discuss the types of knowledge management. Sorry, the type of knowledge. Please ignore this management word, okay? The types of knowledge we are going to discuss here. Sorry guys, so many mistakes in my PPTs. Now, first let's see what is knowledge. A knowledge is one of your organization's most valuable asset. Storing, growing and sharing that knowledge is critical to any enterprise. Here you can say that any valuable asset of any organization is what? Is knowledge. Okay. Without knowledge, your organization will not exist. Okay. Will not change, and your organization will not be competitive anymore if you don't have new knowledge, new pieces of information, updated knowledge. You should be updated. Your organization should have updated knowledge. Okay. So that updated knowledge, how we are going to store that knowledge, it is also very important. Now storing, growing, sharing that knowledge is critical. Okay, now you have acquired new knowledge, new information. Now your duty is to store it, to grow that knowledge, and to share that knowledge, because you know that sharing is caring. Yes, storing, growing and sharing that knowledge is the critical part of any enterprise, is a very important part of any enterprise. So your knowledge, your critical knowledge must be stored, must be grown, and it should be shared. It must be shared. Now we see the types of knowledge. Here you can see there are three types of knowledge. Okay, the first one is explicit knowledge, the second one is your implicit knowledge, and your third and the last knowledge is your tacit knowledge. So first we see what is explicit knowledge. The knowledge that is easy to write down and share. Okay, now you can say that your explicit knowledge is that knowledge which you can write down. Okay, you can easily share it. Okay, so the type of explicit knowledge is like your information stored in your textbook, okay, and encyclopedias, your Wikipedia, your textbook, anything. Okay, it's a very good example of your explicit knowledge. Okay, And this type of knowledge, that explicit knowledge is, it can be codified, it can be stored, and it can be easily accessed, and it can be easily transmitted to one person to another. Okay, so we see what is implicit knowledge. The implicit knowledge is also called your applied knowledge. Okay, sometimes you can also say that your implicit knowledge is a hidden knowledge. You are learning something, but you are not aware of that thing that you are learning. That learning is happening very without your awareness. Okay, so it is again, it is gained through incidental activities. Okay, and you are not aware. Okay, because you are learning something, but you are not aware that you are learning, because just like you walk, you run, you ride a bicycle. So this is the example of your implicit knowledge. You know how to run, you know how to ride a bike or bicycle, you know how to swim, but y- somewhere you are not aware that you are learning that thing. Also, your implicit knowledge is difficult to teach and capture. Also, your implicit knowledge cannot be write down. Okay, unlike your explicit knowledge, it is not possible to write your implicit knowledge. It occurs through learning, and by learning it means that you are not aware of that learning, but you are learning, like riding a bicycle, walking, running. Okay, and now the third one is your tacit knowledge. What is tacit knowledge? A knowledge gained from personal experience. By personal experience, I mean to say that you have that knowledge, you have intuition, right? You know what is intuition. So it is kind of an intuition, or that is, how to experience these things. You know that you have that information. You can say that it is an intuitive knowledge. It develops by your thinking process, your experiences, your personal experiences, whatever. And this knowledge, that tacit knowledge, is not codified. Okay, it is not easy to codify that knowledge. It is non codifiable in nature. And your tacit knowledge cannot be expressed in words, or you can say your in numbers or sentences, and you cannot make a formula from tacit knowledge. Examples of tacit knowledge is like your technical skills and your cognitive skills. Whenever I talk about cognitive skills, it means, cognitive means brain. Okay, always remember, when I say cognition or cognitive, it means it is related to your brain. Okay, how you are going to say that you have acquired a tacit knowledge? By know-how, and by your beliefs, by seeing images, your perspectives, you can say. It's all about your psychological thing. Okay, now tacit knowledge represents internalized knowledge that an individual may not be consciously aware of, such as to accomplish particular task. I've already explained you. At the opposite end of the spectrum, explicit knowledge represents knowledge that individuals hold consciously in the mental focus in a form that can easily be communicated to others. You know that explicit knowledge is stored, it is codified, and it is stored, and it is easily accessible. Like the your textbook, the information stored in your textbook, and information stored in your various internet sites like Wikipedia, encyclopedia, or any other internet site. So this is the basic difference between your these three knowledges. So let's move on. Again, this is explicit knowledge meaning and implicit knowledge meaning. What it is, let's recall it. Explicit knowledge refers to the information visible to the employees and could be written in the procedure and rules of an organization. Again, it is codifiable. Okay, it is writable. Okay, so it is writable in nature, so you can easily transfer that knowledge from one person to another in the written form. So they have certain rules and procedures. It may be available in reports, yes, written reports, technical specifications, your policies, your rules, your regulations, your literature, magazine, etc. Now, implicit knowledge is the knowledge present in people's mind. When I say people's mind, it means it is related to cognition and could result from their experiences and personal values. Now, I want to add one thing that here it is talking about tacit knowledge, okay? You know, in internet you can find that implicit knowledge is different from tacit knowledge, where in other sites you can see that implicit knowledge and tacit knowledge is same. So please do not get confused. Implicit knowledge is basically a simple form of tacit knowledge. It is a form of tacit knowledge, or you can say a tacit knowledge is a synonym of implicit knowledge. So, because both are related to minds, both knowledges are related to your brain. So, I can say that this knowledge is present in people's mind, and it results from their experiences and personal values. This make it less easy to share and therefore require a learning organization to benefit from it. Again, this knowledge is not shareable. It is not, it you cannot write it down, okay? And it is like you cannot prepare a report or technical specification or policies by using implicit knowledge, because it is hidden in the minds of people, but you cannot codify it, okay? You cannot codify it. So, and if you want to share that implicit knowledge, you need an extra attention. You need an extra attention. What it is? A learning organization. You need a learning organization to share that implicit knowledge. Now we see what is knowledge management process, okay? In the diagram, you can see that management has three steps. And what are these steps? First is your knowledge acquisition. Second is your knowledge storage. And third is your knowledge distribution. And your last one is your knowledge use. Please see this diagram because this diagram is very, very important. Now we see what is knowledge acquisition. Let's read it. To acquire knowledge via knowledge assets is one of the ways to generate knowledge. Knowledge assets include knowledge of new products obtained from competitors, knowledge about new technology, and raw information transformed into knowledge that helps solve business related problems. One thing you know that you learn from your mistakes. Same is the case with this first step of knowledge acquisition. Okay, in this competitive environment where your organization is already facing so much competition, now how your organization going to acquire that updated knowledge, that new knowledge, which is very very important for the launch of your new product or new services, which is different from your competitors? Then you use knowledge acquisition. Okay, and what is knowledge acquisition? Acquiring knowledge from new products obtained from competitors. Your competitors have launched a new product, say a soap, and that soap is very pretty, very good, very nice, and it has something different from your soap. So now you have learned and you have see that yes, my competitor has made this beautiful soap, and now I'm also going to apply that strategy which my competitor has already applied into that making beautiful soap. Now, this is called the acquisition of knowledge. Knowledge about new technology. Now, we are living in that era where technology is upgrading on the daily basis. The technological upgradation is taking place on daily basis. Every day or every year, you will see a new technology. So, you are acquiring the knowledge that how you are going to improve your technology, how you are going to improve your technical advancements. Okay, suppose you are using a machine and that machine is now obsolete, completely obsolete machine, and your competitor is using again a new technological machine, a new technology. So you will going to hamper your growth because your competitor is using much more upgraded technology, upgraded machine, and you are using obsolete technology. So who is going to win that competition in the market? Obviously your competitor. So you know that my competitor has that technology, my competitor is using that technology, so i I am also going to use this. Now I am going to buy that technology. Now I have acquired that knowledge. Yes, this machine is powerful than my existed obsolete machine. So I'm going to buy that technology. I'm going to acquire that technology. Okay. So this is called your transformation of your technology, which is in turn called knowledge acquisition. Now, you know that knowledge sharing is very much important part of any organization. By knowledge sharing, it means that you are sharing that crucial information, that crucial knowledge, which is very, very important for the growth of your organization. By sharing that knowledge, it means you are empowering those people who are already working for your organization. So it will be for the betterment of your organization only. So collecting knowledge is an essential part of the knowledge management process. Collecting means your knowledge is not stored inside you. It is also stored in other persons who are already working in the organization. So it is collective in nature. Now you have shared the knowledge. Now it is called collective knowledge sharing. If incorrect data is collected, the knowledge resulting from it will not be accurate. I told you that your knowledge should be specific, your knowledge should be accurate if you want precise and very good and to the point results. Consequently, the decision would also be inaccurate because they are based on irrelevant knowledge. Now, obviously, if your data is not accurate, the information you have collected is not accurate, not precise, not correct, obviously, it will lead to your wrong decision making. It will lead to your inaccurate decision making, okay? Because your knowledge is irrelevant. It is irrelevant because your information that you have collected is wrong, it's not accurate, it's not to the point. So it will going to impact your decisions, what you are going to take decisions in your organization for the betterment of your organization, for effectiveness of the organization. So it is very, very mandatory to have accurate knowledge, accurate piece of information to make a better decisions. Now let's talk about the second stage of knowledge management process, that is knowledge storage. Now storage we mean that a repository, okay? In organization, how you are going to store your knowledge? There are certain repositories. Don't worry, you are going to store your knowledge in your repositories which are already maintained in the organization. So it's your duty to preserve that crucial knowledge, that important knowledge into your knowledge repository. Remember that thing. Okay. Your existing knowledge, the knowledge which already exists in your organization, and the knowledge which you have acquired from other people, from other sources, from your external sources. Okay. Now, these knowledge you are going to store in your knowledge repository in the organization. The knowledge repository could be your computer database. Okay, it could be your computer, it could be your computer database that stores a specific knowledge domain. Okay, every computer has certain specific knowledge domain which they are going to store. Okay, so the knowledge is stored in the computer database. Okay, and now, storage of new and existing knowledge is another essential step in the knowledge management process. Okay, what is the very crucial essential step in the knowledge management process? Your storage of new knowledge and your existing knowledge. Okay, remember that thing. There is a vast sea of unorganized knowledge present in every organization. You know that you have knowledge, you have a lot of knowledge, but those knowledge, those informations are not organized properly. Okay, they are scattered, they are unorganized. So organization nowadays uses knowledge repositories to store that unorganized knowledge in a proper organized form. To better use this knowledge in the future, what kind of knowledge? That new knowledge and your existed knowledge, it is necessary to store and organize it in an orderly manner. Yes, you know that you have n number of informations, like you have existing knowledge and also you have acquired new knowledge, and those knowledge are not organized, those knowledge are not orderly mentioned. Now, it's the organization's duty to store that crucial knowledge in an orderly manner. And where you are going to store that knowledge? In your knowledge repository. So please remember, your knowledge repository plays a very crucial role in management process, especially in knowledge management. The organizational structure could be increased and accessing knowledge could be easier if a system is created that is well categorized and excellently mapped. By knowledge storage, we mean that if you want your organization structure to increase in the nearby future, or if you want to increase your organizational structure effectively and to cope up with the competition, and you need to store the knowledge, so it's very much important to categorize the knowledge. Okay, it's very important first to create a system that is going to store that knowledge, and after storing that knowledge, what is you going to do is categorize that knowledge. Okay, and it should be excellently mapped. Mapped means vision. Okay, visual aid. It is a knowledge map. It's just a simple to see the things in visual form. It's actually a visual aid, you can say that. By knowledge mapping, I mean to say that it's a kind of visual representation, okay, wherein organization's information stored, okay, and from where that employees can access that knowledge, that information. Now, the third step is your knowledge distribution. What do you mean by knowledge distribution? Yes, your knowledge distribution means that it is a knowledge management process. Yes, it's a part of knowledge management process that allows a company, all companies' employees to access the company's collective knowledge. See, a company has some knowledge. It could be your existed knowledge and it could be your acquired knowledge, or both, you can say. Okay, and those knowledge is stored in your knowledge repository. Okay, so, and now the knowledge is stored in your knowledge repository and employee needs that information. So employees are going to access that knowledge which is stored in your knowledge repository, And this knowledge, the knowledge which is stored in your knowledge repository, is called your collective knowledge, because that collective knowledge is not limited to the one person or one employee. It is collective in nature. Okay, it is already shared. And by uh, storing knowledge in repository, it means that you are going to share that knowledge to each and every employee of your organization. So it is, this process is called your knowledge distribution process. Okay, because in this process you are sharing your knowledge to your company's employees. Okay, company's employees are they have access to that knowledge repository. Okay, so this is called your knowledge distribution. Distribution means that you are distributing the knowledge. Okay, you are spreading the knowledge. Explicit and implicit knowledge can be distributed to other individuals through sharing knowledge. Some examples are delivering a speech, giving a presentation, and writing a research paper. The exchange process is employed to communicate explicit knowledge among people or organizations. Now, there are certain ways you can distribute your knowledge. Okay, and you already know that knowledge are of two types. One is explicit and one is implicit. I have explained you in the previous slides also. So, knowledge can be distributed via sharing. Okay, and I can tell you some examples how you are going to distribute your knowledge. You are giving a speech, delivering a speech, it means you're distributing your knowledge to the people. Okay, giving a presentation, giving a PowerPoint presentation is also a distribution of your knowledge. Okay, and writing a research paper is also your knowledge distribution process. It comes under the purview of knowledge distribution process. You are writing a research paper, that means you are imparting an information in the form of a research paper, and so many of your audiences, so many of your readers are going to read your research paper. That means you are disseminating that information to your focused audience, your focused readers, your special readers who are going to read your research paper. It means that you are spreading your knowledge. You are spreading, you are distributing, you are disseminating your knowledge via research papers. The exchange process is employed to communicate explicit knowledge among people or organization. And you know that what is your explicit knowledge? Your explicit knowledge is that knowledge which can be codified, which can be, it it is writable. Okay, so your explicit knowledge is codifiable and writable. Example, I told you, a textbook, your encyclopedia, your Wikipedia, and your other internet websites. Okay, any reading material, you can say, any material which you are able to read. Okay, this is your explicit knowledge. So this is your explicit and implicit knowledge. You already know that. Let me recall it again. Explicit and implicit knowledge are of two types of knowledge you have seen in the previous slides, and you are sharing the knowledge. Okay, and some examples are, you're delivering a speech, you're giving a speech to your audiences. It means you're spreading an information, giving a presentation, giving a PPT, writing a research paper to your focused audience, focused readers. And especially I'm talking about explicit knowledge, because explicit knowledge is easily distributable. Okay, so like textbook, research papers, your newspapers, magazines, journals, etc. Now we talk about knowledge use, the last step of knowledge management process. Let me read it. Knowledge utilization is when the knowledge available is applied to perform tasks and to make critical decisions. Knowledge is applied via direction and routine. When you have knowledge with you, okay, and you are going to apply that knowledge, so it means that knowledge is applicable. So, that knowledge is applicable. It means that you are going to apply that knowledge to perform a certain task, a certain duty, and to make critical decisions, to make accurate decisions, to make right decisions. And for the right decision making, you should have accurate knowledge. You should have right knowledge, okay? Your knowledge should be accurate, to the point, and it should be correct. Knowledge is applied via two types, okay? Direction and routine. One of the one way you can apply knowledge is by direction, okay? You have directed towards something and you are going to apply that knowledge. And second thing is routine. You are performing a task on the daily basis and the same task is repeated again and again, okay? So it is called your routine task, and that for that routine task you need a knowledge, you need that type of knowledge to apply into that routine task, okay? So the direction is how the person who possesses the knowledge advises another person or directs his action without transferring the knowledge, such as calling a producer to an expert to inquire how to resolve a specific problem with a tool or machine and then solve that problem based upon the received instructions. It means that a person who is very much who has very much expertise in a particular task, okay? So another person wants his help to help him out to solve that issue. So he's calling that person who possesses the knowledge and he's going to advise that person who has zero knowledge of that task. Okay. It means that the person who is in expertise in that task is going to direct that person, okay, without transferring the knowledge, such as like how to resolve a specific problem with a tool or machine, okay, and then solve the problem based upon the received instructions, okay? You have instructed a person and now that instruction is already into his mind and he is performing that task by instruction, okay? This is how you are going to use that knowledge that one person is expertised and that one person has zero knowledge of that task, okay, and that person is helping the another person to solve that particular task, to resolve that specific problem. And it could be a tool, how to use a tool, how to operate a machine, and how to solve that problem. And it is based on instructions. Now, routine refers to utilize knowledge embedded in products. Routine refers to utilize knowledge embedded in products, procedures, processes, and the rules that dictate future behavior. By routines, it means that you have something, you have instructions, you have process, you know the procedures. Now you are going to perform that procedures. Now you are going to perform that instructions, and by instructions you are going to repeat that procedures to develop that particular product. And now you are in the routinized task, okay? And not only you are preparing yourself for today but also yourself for your future behavior. You are preparing yourself for your future behavior because you have the same task. It is a routine means the same task for every day, okay? Utilize that knowledge for the routinized task. For that product you are going to make it, and you have certain steps, you have certain instructions, you have certain procedures to perform that task, and you have rules to dictate that future behavior, and it will going to shape your future behavior. You are, following a routine. So it is like that. It is basically like following a routine, and it is the same task. It is a monotonous task, okay? Now, both processes can be applied to explicit or implicit knowledge. Now, I have discussed that there are two processes that knowledge can be applied by direction, okay, and by routine, okay. So, both process, okay, can be applied. Both means the direction and the routine. It can be applied to your explicit or implicit knowledge. Knowledge use is an essential component of the knowledge management process since it facilitates value creation. Since knowledge utilization is the utmost important part of your knowledge management process because it facilitates value creation. How you are going to differentiate yourself from your competitors? By the knowledge use, okay? By the use of correct knowledge, by the use of accurate knowledge, you are going to create your value for your organization. You are creating a valuable organization. You are facilitating a value creation. So the knowledge use, the, the last most step of the knowledge management process is an essential component, is a very essential or crucial component of knowledge management process because in this process you know how to apply the knowledge because this process is all about the application of your acquired knowledge as well as your existing knowledge in your organization. And what type of knowledge it should be? It should be accurate, it should be correct, and it should be to the point, and it should lead to your correct decision making, your right decision making. So now let's see what what knowledge management process possess. Knowledge management process do not have a limited scope. Okay, so it is not limited to a certain factor or certain thing. It ensures that managing knowledge through an organized process for creating, sustaining, and renewing to create value. Of course, the knowledge management process makes sure that you are creating, okay, you are creating a value to your organization. You are sustaining your organization. You want your organization to sustain, okay. So in order to make it more sustainable, to make it more creative, your knowledge management process plays a very important role, okay, so that you will get the value you want for your organization, okay. These processes constantly require the development of new skills and further improvement of existing capabilities. See, if you want your knowledge management processes should be effective, what you need is you need a constant development of the new skills, okay? The new skills and the further improvement of your existing capabilities, okay? You have your employees, no doubt your employees are very much talented, but in order to, survive in that in so much competition, you can see there are a hell lot of competition outside your organization, and you just want to have a healthy competition, okay. So what you need is you need to acquire new skills, you need to have new skills, and further you what you want, you need to have improved capabilities, okay. You should train your staff, you should train your employees, and you should upgrade your employee skills, okay. Your staff skills must be upgraded. A- and also the capabilities they have, no doubt they have so much capabilities, they are very talented, but you need to improve their existing capabilities to cope up with the so much competition, okay. So, so if you want an effective knowledge management process, you should upgrade your skills and your existing capabilities. That's all you require. Now, we can say that knowledge management process are continuous. Okay, the very nature of your knowledge management processes is that they are continuous in nature and they are systematic. Okay, the procedures of these processes are standardized. They are standardized in nature, okay. They have a particular framework, they have a particular standard, and these standards form your knowledge management process. So your knowledge management process is standardized. They enable the collection, storage, distribution, and application of knowledge to maximize benefits and gain an edge in a dynamic economy. Okay, your knowledge management process enables the collection. Okay, you know that your knowledge is collective in nature. So, the word collection implies here that knowledge is your collective in nature, and you store the knowledge. You store knowledge, but where? In your knowledge repositories. So, by storage, it means that your knowledge is stored in your knowledge repositories. Now, the word is distribution. What is distribution? Distribution is like sharing your knowledge. You're disseminating your knowledge to your audiences, your readers, and the people you want to. Okay? Now, and the last step was your application, the knowledge use. So, you are using your knowledge. You have applied your knowledge to a particular task, and that knowledge can be applied via direction and 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 your routine. And why we use those steps, why we use knowledge management process to maximize the benefits and gain, okay, in order to achieve benefits, advantages in the dynamic economy, in the changing economy, okay. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you really like the video, please like it and subscribe my channel, guys. Thank you so much. Bye and take care.